Welcome back to the channel. This is the Casuals. I'm Jin.
And I'm Saki.
Today's episode is a meal for two. It has certainly been a while since we've, had a meal for two episode. And the reason why we actually ended up having this episode is because we more recently actually went to a place that we like, And so we're kind of here to talk about it. And so this place you ended up introducing me to.
Yeah, so it's apparently been there forever. I just started recently going to it as well. So before I introduced you to you, I think I went there like maybe 2 times. And I was like, "Ooh, I think Jin's gonna like this because it's Chinese food, but it's like real Chinese food. It's not like your Panda Express, you know." So this place, it's literally down the street from us. It's called Kim Tar. And it's literally like a little hole in the wall. But they do some really good food. And what food we're going to talk about here specifically is their noodle soups. So the first noodle soup I tried was just a simple egg noodle with wonton. And when I tasted it, I was like, "Wow, this is like legit stuff." And I was like, "You know what? I think Jin's gonna appreciate this." So I ate the wonton noodle soup. The second time I tried the orange chicken with rice and stuff. That was pretty good too, but I think the wonton soup or the noodle soups were better. So then when we went, this would have been my third time. This is when I got the barbecue pork and wonton noodle soup. And it was just as good. It's pretty much the same thing as what I got, except it had barbecue pork.
Yeah.
And it was just good. There's nothing else to say.
So going back to the first time I'm going there, right? So Saki introduced me. I was like, all right, let's go there, right? Let's head over there. And so we decided. I think we took my car, right?
Yes, the first time.
So I ended up on the wrong parking lot. It was fine, anyways. We could just literally walk over like a little thing, and then we just got into that store. But we ended up in the wrong parking lot. It was pretty funny. And then the first thing I see is that on the left side of the entrance, there's a window. I mean, it's all windows, by the way. But like on the left side window, there's a guy like chopping something, and I see on the at the actual window place, there's ducks hanging in. I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna be good.
Yeah. If you see just some ducks hanging in a window of a Chinese restaurant, you know it's gonna be good.
And so I walk in, and this, it's like kind of a small seating area, to be honest. There's not that much seating area. And so we were led to the seats nearest to the kitchen, like back kitchen, and we sat down, and right next to us, I kid you not, right next to us, there's a circular table, and there was this lady with a big ass tray, a big ass bowl of filling, and a stack of wonton wraps, and she was just going ham. She was literally just like putting in the filling, wrapping in one go, smooth motion, tips it off, whatever, puts it in, keeps on just repeat, just putting the filling, wrapping it up, putting away, putting the filling, wrapping it up, and putting away. And she was like a machine, just constantly going at it, and you can easily tell she's been doing it for years.
Oh, easily. She wasn't even looking half the time.
She was talking with her coworker.
Yeah, she was just like, had the spoon, a wrapper in the other, scooping out the filling, just talking casually, and just keep doing the motion. I was just like, wow, you're so good, you don't even have to look at what you're doing.
She didn't measure. She didn't. Not once did she even double take the amount she did for Scoopy. She literally just did it all one smooth motion. Didn't double check. She knew what she was doing. And I saw that and I was like, oh, this is legit.
Yeah, literally when they make the wontons right in front of you.
Yeah. And so I while that was going on, I looked in the menu, and the reason why I even wanted to come in the first place was because I saw that they had egg noodle, duck meat, egg noodle soup with and I was like, I gotta try that. I've never seen this kind of noodle before. And so I ordered it. I was about to order just that, and then I noticed that they had a wonton add-on. I'm like, or like a wonton option rather. It's not an add-on, but an option. And because I saw that lady doing the wonton, I was just like, I gotta try the wonton. So I got the egg noodle ducks with wonton soup for that visit. And man, was it good.
It was very. For me at least, I think I drank all the broth.
Yeah, I drank almost all the broths. Unfortunately, it got a little bit too salty at the end, but
yeah.
I mean, 90% of it was, not salty at all. The duck was super tender and actually had a lot of flavor.
And a lot of meat.
Yeah, and a lot of meat. They like piled it on. Amazing. The two slight downsides to this noodle soup is one, because they literally just made it, the noodles hadn't separated properly yet, so it was like clumped up all together, and it was you had to kind of work your way to unclog everything.
Yes, that's right. I remember that now.
And then the second one was the duck meat specifically, and this is with the majority of duck meat anyway, so it's not even their fault or anything like that. It's just like bones,
Right.
It's annoying, but what can you do? I mean, it's what you get with duck. Very rarely is it like chicken where you can just get like a whole, boneless chicken, So that's not their fault at all, but it's just a small downside just to keep in mind, because some people do genuinely find it frustrating to deal with bones, and I totally understand. I hate dealing with bones too. But overall, it's still a good meal. And it's a pretty big portion size.
Oh, it was huge for how much we paid.
I think it was like we paid like $13, $14.
It was like $13.50 or something like that.
And some of you are like, whoa, $13.50. That's ridiculously expensive for a bowl of soup. Noodle soup, right? I'm like, listen. First of all, it's in California, so it's cheap enough already.
Yeah, that if you go anywhere else, that could easily be like a $20 bowl.
Yeah. And two, the quality is good, mind you. We just talked about a lady freaking making wontons like a freaking pro. Literally her way of life, right next to us. And they're not hiding the ducks, it's not hiding the back kitchen. There's literally a guy in the entrance butchering the ducks.
They're dead, by the way.
Yeah, they're already dead. But like he's cutting them up, so it's like where it's coming from.
Yep, like if you order any barbecue, it's literally coming from that guy near the window.
Yeah. And so it's and plus it's a really decent size. Like it's enough for two people. Quite honestly, two normal size, like portion sizes of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so price wise, I'm not complaining at all. I was just like worth it, 100% worth it.
And if you're hungry enough, you could eat the whole bowl yourself.
Yeah. And so, I enjoyed the meal a lot. I was just so happy with it. And then, we finished it up, ate it. And I remember telling you, we gotta come back here again.
Yes, you did.
And we'll get to that soon. But, right after we went to Kim Tower, we were on the way home, and we passed by this plaza, and we were just about to reach upon this plaza that we pass by on the route to go back home, and I was just like, "You want ice cream?" And there was a place called Mecca Matcha, which I think we might have talked about before. I don't remember.
I think.
Yeah, I think we did. And if we did, just refer to that episode. But we passed by Mecca Matcha. I'm like, "Do you want my Mecca Matcha? Or do you want this, this self-serve ice cream, whatever place that we've always seen but never went into?" And it's called Froyo or something like that. We're just gonna refer to it as Froyo. And we both never been there, but it's like, you wanna go there? And it's like, let's try Froyo. So I was just like, alright, fuck it. So we went into the plaza, went in there, and it was the strangest thing ever, right? We thought it was closed. initially when we first parked outside because there was no lights on.
No lights on, no open sign on, just like a dark inside building. The only light you're getting is the sunlight.
Yeah. And so I'm like, is it open? Because I see on the times it's open, right? Their time whatever card, or their open like hours. And I opened the door and I reached for the door and I opened it. I'm just like, huh? So it's open, right? So we both walk in and we're just like, hello? No answer. And we're just like, is there someone here? We look around, no one at the counter. We tried looking in the back, right? We didn't go inside, but like you could kind of see there's like a, those flaps or whatever going back into the kitchen area. We didn't see anyone past like that kind of clear-ish, flaps, whatever. And so we were just like, is anyone even in? Like, where's the worker? Why is there no worker at the front? We were so bewildered because of it.
Yeah, I've never really walked into a store not been greeted, or at least see a person, working there.
Yeah.
And it was literally felt like it was deserted.
Yeah. And mind you, like, we do both acknowledge that this is a self-serve ice cream thing, right? But wouldn't you want an employee at the front? Normally, at most times, like, we were just so confused.
Yeah, honestly, we were like, do we go? Like, should we stay and get something?
Yeah.
I think we called out like 3 or 4 times, and then someone finally came to the front.
Yeah, this lady finally came out to the front and like was like, "Oh, what's up?" And we were just like, "Oh, thank God you were here, dude. We didn't know what to do. We like, were we gonna get into trouble for entering this, or like we thought we were breaking and entering at this point."
Yeah, she was so casual about it. She's like, "Oh yeah, if the door was open, we're open." I'm like, "Okay, but no, like, people just get their froyo and just like eat it. They don't pay. Like, no one in the front to collect money from customers. Like, it was just weird."
Yeah, it was weird. But since she came out, we're like, okay, finally we can go actually take a look at the flavors they have. And they had this one particular flavor that you like.
Yes, it was ube. And for people who don't know, ube is the purple sweet potato that Philippines like. Boy, it was really good. Like, I wish I got more of it.
It was surprisingly high quality.
Yeah, honestly.
For something so random.
Yeah, because usually that's not like a popular flavor. You'll see all the fruit ones and like chocolate, vanilla, or whatever. But I saw ube and I was like, I love ube. I gotta try it. And I'm kind of glad I did.
Yeah. I just got the normal. I just got vanilla, I think, and like some other small flavor. I think it was like a fruit flavor. I don't remember what, but my main flavor was vanilla. Oh, I did actually get a little bit of. No, I didn't get ube. Sorry. I ended up getting like vanilla and I think mango or something like that. Very little. But I still genuinely like the vanilla. It was very soft and very like nice. And it was the first time in a while since I went to like a self-serve place like that. I think it's been years. How about you?
It hasn't been quite as long for me. Probably a couple months. Because I think one time I stopped at Yogurtland one time, which is pretty similar, but this place we went to wasn't a chain.
Yeah. So, we ended up checking out, bought our stuff. It was cheap too, honestly. It was fairly cheap.
It was what, like $10?
$10 for a like good amount. Like it was like you got a lot of ice cream, mind you.
And I put some toppings.
Yeah, and I only put a little bit, but you made majority of it. But it's still only $10, which is surprising. Like the amount that you get is definitely worth the money that you pay for. And so we were thinking, maybe we gotta stop by here too again. Funny with that one too. So remember how I mentioned to you earlier that after we finished eating at Kim Tower, we're like, we gotta come back here again. Yeah, we ended up going back like I think literally like 3 or 2 weeks later.
I think it was like 2 weeks later, yeah.
2 weeks later. And so we went back there for round 2, and this time, same exact spot, by the way, funny enough. And you got something else other than the noodles.
Yeah, the second time we both went, I got barbecue pork and soy sauce chicken with rice. And it was good, but the noodle soup is better.
Yeah. Meat was still good, but yeah, definitely soup was better. And then I got was rice noodles this time, beef ball, I think, soup. Yeah, beef ball soup. And it was good. I think they used similar same base, but pretty filling. A lot of meat, pretty good. I think generally with any of their noodle dishes, you can't really go wrong with that.
I'd agree to that statement.
We haven't tried much of the dishes because it's only like your 4th time there. This is only my 2nd time there that I visited, and so. But Kim Tar, man, it's such a good place. Highly would recommend if you're in the area, if you ever find it. We will definitely go back in the future. And so this wasn't in the same trip, but going back to Froyo's, we went there a 2nd time.
Yeah, literally, first time it was Kim Tar then Froyo. Second time, Kim Tar and Froyo.
Yeah. And so, what was funny about that was, we went to Kim Tar, we went to Froyo's, and we're like, alright, time to get the ube again. And it wasn't there.
Yeah. They got rid of the flavor. So first off, let's start off the 2nd time at Froyo.
Mm-hmm.
Same situation. It was empty. But this time they had the open sign on.
An improvement.
An improvement. Light was on. It was still empty, and we called out. No one came. But this 2nd time, there was a ring for service bell.
Yeah. I totally forgot about that.
So we rang it, and someone came to the front. We're like, okay, cool. We know it's actually open. And so we went to do our Froyo again, and I was like, oh, I'll get this one. And then I looked, I was like, aw, I got coconut and pineapple. And I was like, oh, no more ube. Oh, well. Actually, it wasn't pineapple, it was Dole Whip. Actual Dole Whip.
Yeah. And you told me that Dole Whip is actually something very different than... Or
Like
Dole pineapple is very different from regular pineapples.
Yeah, it's like champagne. You can't call it champagne unless it came from, like, that area in, I forget where, France or something. Same with Dole Whip. There's a thing called Dole Plantation where they grow a lot in Hawaii, where they grow a lot of the pineapple and stuff. So that's why it's called Dole. Because other places grow pineapple, but it's different, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I got Dole Whip and some coconut, like Froyo or whatever. And we were paying, and I was like, oh, like, when did you guys get rid of the ube flavor? Because I was like, oh, I was kind of sad it wasn't there. And she's like, oh, it should, the worker was like, it should still be there. I'm like, oh, it's not. And she's like, oh, really? I was like, yeah, it's like coconut flavor now. And she goes, oh, I think the manager came in and just switched it out yesterday. I was like, no, I was a day late.
Literally the day after we came in, it was gone.
It was the day before we came in, it was gone.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, one day too late.
It was so unfortunate. Maybe they'll have ube there again, and then watch them be like, oh, you're one day late again.
I know, we just gotta keep going, and hopefully they bring it back.
Yeah, hopefully, one day.
But honestly, pina colada, not bad.
Yeah.
Not a bad combo.
Yeah, definitely not bad. But yeah, so this was a kind of interesting situation because we went to Kim Tar and we went to Froyo, like twice in the same fashion. So that's pretty funny. Maybe we'll do it again next time we go to Kim Tar. We just gotta head straight to Froyo again.
Yeah, but If we go to Kim Tower, we gotta get our booth.
Yep.
And if we go to Froyo, we have to make sure we walk in, no one's there again.
Third time's a charm, right?
Yep.
But yeah, and this one was one of the more fun ones just because of like the situation repeating it twice, almost quite literally.
Yeah, it was literally, it was like the same thing, just in a different day.
Yeah. It was very amusing. But yeah. If you guys have any coincidence like that, you know, let us know. I'd be interested to see if anyone else had this kind of similar coincidence of going to one place and then going to another 2 times in the same fashion, and then same thing happening where an employee's not there or something like that both times. But for now, we will have to end the episode here. So I'm Jin.
And I'm Saki.
And this is The Casuals, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.